Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're looking to get funded, we've got a solution for you. Our partnered prop firm FX2 Funding helps traders get access to up to $200,000 in trading capital. FX2 Funding is not your average prop firm. We've chosen them as our partner because of their fair examination rules, their professional and available customer service, and they have an outstanding reputation in the prop firm space. Here's a quick look at their evaluation process. First, they don't have a time limit on their evaluations. That means that you can take your time when passing your evaluation. There's no pressure to rush your trading. Second, there is only one phase to pass in their evaluation before getting access to your funded account. Also, their evaluation fees are fairly priced and fully refundable upon passing. Once you're funded, you'll be able to keep up to 85% of your trading profits. Finally, a rule we know swing traders will love, you can hold your positions over the weekend. For a limited time, get 15% off any of their account challenges with promo code A1Trading15. That's 15% off any account challenge with code A1Trading15. If you're ready to get funded, we're dropping a link in the chat right now, and you can also find it in the description down below. So go ahead and get signed up today for 15% off with promo code A1Trading15. Now, back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another live stream here. We are back in the studio, back in the office, ready for another day of market coverage and trading setups. I'm joined here by James with the market commentary, of course, for news and upcoming things to pay attention to. What's going on, James, and what's on the radar today?
So I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm good.
But as far as what's on our radar today, it's not a whole lot. We do have CPI in China way later tonight, as well as a New Zealand, something that we could pay attention to, but that's not happening until, again, 11 p.m. tonight. So as far as news happening today, that's new and noteworthy, not so much. Tomorrow, even less happening, but Thursday is going to be our big news day this week, with US CPI coming out, as well as unemployment claims. But the CPI is really going to be the big one. This is we talked about it a little bit on stream yesterday. Of course, this is coming after another rate hike from the Fed. They raised rates 25 basis points because inflation has been so very high here in the US, but it has been coming down steadily, thanks to those, partially because of those rate hikes. However, this CPI event is forecasting a raise in the inflation rate, even though we raised rates in our most recent FOMC meeting. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens with CPI here. If it raises even higher than 3.3%, if that's a miss there and we go even higher, that'll be very, very surprising and could alter potentially the Fed's plan for their rate hike cycle that some people believe is starting to come to a close here in the next couple of months. If the inflation rate raises, could that change that? We don't know. But then Friday, we're going to finish out with a little bit more inflation news. We have PPI numbers here in the US coming out at 8:30, as well as preliminary consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. on Friday. So not so much news to look at today or tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday will certainly be big days to pay attention to.
Yep. Thank you, James, for that. And yes, obviously, a lot more interest on the back half of this week, and we will be streaming. We have shows planned for all of those major events. So for those of you guys who are regulars, make sure, or if you're new, make sure you guys have your post notifications turned on to either channel. If you're watching from the A1 Trading channel or the Trader Nick channel, we're streaming on both right now. Make sure to turn on those post notifications so you don't miss those upcoming streams. We'll be covering those events live. Thank you, James, for that update, and we'll be catching up with you in a bit.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Welcome back, everybody, again to another segment here. I want to talk just about a market that is kind of making some interesting moves right here. It's the metals market. The metals market is down this morning. And take a look at silver. Silver trading just under $23 an ounce at this point. You compare that to gold, and gold also taking a hit. You've got gold trading back down to $19.25. And the question just becomes, are we going to make a run back now to that 1900 level that price made a move back to. This is a daily chart, guys. I'm just looking higher time frame for a moment. Last time the sellers really took control of gold, they were able to make a move all the way down to that 1900 mark. From there, buyers stepped back in and made a bigger push to the upside. My personal take on gold is I am mildly bullish, but I'm having a hard time justifying any short-term trades. I actually have no short-term trades open on gold at this point. What I have mentioned is I am, generally speaking, pretty bullish on gold, but I would like to see some structural breakouts. So I'm looking here from a technical analysis perspective at what is pretty convincingly a downward trend off of the 4-hour chart. You've got resistance that comes into play each time the market is able to make some sort of a retracement. So this is not a market that I personally want to be buying, but do I want to be selling it? No, not that either, because I still think that despite inflation expectations here actually expected to tick up slightly on Thursday, I still think that the Federal Reserve has seen a lot of progress. And despite that progress, and what I mean by that is inflation getting more under control and the need for rate hikes silently kind of becoming less and less overall. Despite that, I don't think gold has gotten the appreciation that it perhaps should have. And that's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong about that, guys. As always with these videos, this is my personal take and opinion. But, I think that gold has upside. Now, that doesn't mean I'm just going to buy it, though, when it's in a downward trend. I've got to wait for trends to start forming in the direction that I'm actually interested. So the way to write this out, as I often do, is fundamentally and sentiment-wise, we're going to talk about this, fundamentals and sentiment lean towards, in my opinion, bullishness. We take a look at the commitment of traders data. Big money is still very long gold. And if we take a look at technicals, here's where the problem lies. The technicals for me look bearish. So we don't have confluence among the three factors or categories that I take a look at in my trading. So for me, gold is very interesting, but I've got to see the breakout before I start getting long. Hopefully that makes sense. If that concept made sense to you right there, if that breakdown between technicals, fundamentals, and sentiment made sense, do me a quick favor and just type yes in the chat right now here. And that will let me know that I'm going at an okay pace and I can keep going into some more setups. Just to cover what I mentioned about sentiment analysis here for a moment, take a look at the COT reports with me. You can still see that overall, gold is still very heavily long biased. So this is basically, we're looking at the hedge funds and institutional traders and what they're doing. And the latest data shows us that they're still positioned very long on the gold market. So if I know that, that's generally speaking going to make me a little bit more bullish. But like I said, big institutional money, they tend to move pretty slow. And so I'm waiting for the technical side to actually align. If I do take this trade, you guys will see it inside of our Discord channel. And if you're not already inside of our Discord channel, we do have a free version available. Many of you guys are already in the free version. But if you'd like to also see the trades that I'm actually taking, full breakdowns and analysis, you're in luck. If you've been watching the streams for a little while, then I'm excited to announce we are doing a big sale right now. This is a Discord membership sale. We are looking for more serious traders. If you are somebody who watches these shows, if you watch these live streams, and you would like to get the trade notifications when I take a trade, or Frank, who joins the streams often, when he takes a trade, if you want to see when we are taking trades with full breakdowns, analysis, explanations behind every trade, you can see we're sharing charts, we're sharing our analysis. If you would like the inside scoop as to what we are trading and why we are trading it, if you'd like to get those signals sent directly to your phone, click this link that's being dropped in the chat right now, because right now we are offering a supersized discount. If you message in while this live stream is going on right now using this link, you're going to get 25% off any membership option you'd like. So if you just want to try it out for a month, knock the price off by 25%. If you want to stick around and stay with us for life, we have an option for that. It's 25% off right now. If you message into our support center, I've got a couple people on my staff right now who are ready to help you out to get a membership. If you've been watching the stream for a while, if you've been thinking about getting one, here's your chance. So I'd like to invite you guys to join us. It'd be awesome to meet some more people and get more serious traders in our community. And with that said, again, I am watching gold. I'm just going to see if we can get a breakout. And if that trade sets up, I will be taking that and sharing that inside of the group. Let's talk a little bit about NASDAQ. NASDAQ still struggling here. it's at a longer term level of support. Here's your daily chart level that I am kind of interested in. You've got this overall upward trend, and I am bullish as long as we stay above this level of support. If we break that level, I have to stay true to my word and go ahead and stop out of that trade, get out of there, and move on. So I'm watching NASDAQ very closely here today, and it's a small trade size. So if it doesn't work out, it's okay. I'm still looking to see if I can capture some upside on this. But again, I've mentioned the metals market seems very sold off. I'm probably not looking to rush into any short-term trades, but the indices still kind of look attractive to me. If we go back to the Edge Finder and take a look, again, I mentioned gold is still very bullish. So is the euro. So is the pound. This is very interesting, right? So we can see that currency-wise, the euro, the pound, those ones are generally getting more interest from institutional traders. Let's take a quick look at retail. Now, retail is a contrarian indicator for us. What I mean by that is that if retail traders are very long something, to me, that's more of a bearish signal. And if retail traders are very short something, it's more of a bullish signal. So if we take a look at this, we're starting out just on the major currency pairs. You can see that, for example, USD CAD has a 61% short to long ratio, right? So 61% of retail traders, amateur traders, according to brokerages that release this data, we've pulled that data into our software and we can see it in front of us right here. 61% are short on dollar CAD. That's going to be slightly bullish leaning, in my opinion, for dollar CAD. Take a look at USDCHF, which is very, very bullish for retail traders. That to me is going to be more of a bearish lean. Okay, so that's the major currency pairs. Let's take a look around at some other things. Let's add in the commodities. Let's see what's going on with gold. Here's one thing that's keeping me a little bit on the sidelines with gold right now. Look at this. You have a lot of crowding of the trade. A lot of retail traders are buying gold right now. So I'm going to stay probably on the sidelines with that. Let's shift gears here and just take a quick look at the indices. I just happen to know, because I've been keeping an eye on these, the indices are super bearish by retail traders. Here's SPX, right? The S&P 500. Retail traders are very short. US 30. Retail traders are very short. German 30, right? That's the DAX, the NASDAQ, very short. My point with this is I've been very long biased indices. And this is part of the reason why we know retail traders are very, very short. Rayon says, did you take that AUD USD trade? Let's actually go look. I haven't followed up with that, and it didn't ever really come back into my setup. So you can see, no, I didn't, but here was the setup. If you guys saw my video yesterday, also, can we just do a real quick question in the audience? Do you guys watch the live streams? Quick question. This is just a polling the room, I guess. Do you guys watch the live streams, the videos, or both? Let me know in the comments or in the chat right now. Just let us know. The producers and I will be very interested to see this. Do you guys watch just the live streams, usually just the videos, or do you watch both? Let us know. I'm very curious just to hear from you guys on that. So yesterday on my video, I made out this point that I really like Aussie dollar on a short side option or short side trade if we do get up to that 61.8%. Here's the thing. We didn't quite get there. So I wasn't able to get my entry on this one. And so this market has left me behind. And so despite, the trade setup was pretty good, I just missed the entry. So a little frustrating for me because that was really a clean setup. And clearly the market was bearish on Aussie as well. But it seems like I might have missed my opportunity there. Oh, wow. You guys really lit up the chat. Thank you guys for that. A lot of people saying both. They watch the videos and the live streams. Some people saying they just watch the live streams, which is cool too. I get it. Everybody has all day long. I get it. And some people probably just skim some of my videos. We put out a lot of content. I've got a really great team behind the scenes that makes that possible. So shout out to them. So yeah, question is, am I still interested in Aussie dollar? Well, we probably need to update the idea here a little bit because again, that ship has probably sailed for me. So now the question is, is this a level of resistance that I'd be interested in selling? Because clearly sellers were very interested there. Well, let's keep our fibs on there for a second. And see, what I don't like about drawing fibs this way is, look at this. The low got taken out. So for me, probably I'm just going to wait to see what happens with the Aussie dollar. Obviously, I would be interested still in a short setup, but it's not clear as to where I would do that just yet. So to be completely honest with you, I do like Aussie dollar on the short side, but I'm going to probably have to wait to see where structure forms and come back to that idea. So this is the reality of trading. It's frustrating sometimes. Look at dollar CAD, guys. Wow. Dollar CAD really broke out. Wait, this is exactly what we talked about yesterday. We might be getting a setup here on that pullback. Look at dollar CAD. Dollar CAD actually is very, very bullish here. Part of the reason for that, again, watch the signals. And like I mentioned, guys, I understand people have lives. We all have, many of us have work, we have jobs, we have families, we have things going on. So I understand, if you don't watch both my content. I'm not trying to shame you if you don't watch both the videos and the live streams, but of course we appreciate all the support. And again, this is trading 101. Let me speak. We're going to have some guests join us here on the show in just a moment. But before I do, I want to make this point because it's really important. There's only so much time in the day. And I understand that when it comes to trading, it could be really frustrating to tune into one of these live streams and you see me talk about this setup that's not ready yet, right? I can imagine some people might feel like, Nick, can you talk about a trade setup that's like actually ready? And hey, you and me both. I wish there were more setups always ready. The reality of trading is it's so much waiting. It's so much prep game. And as you saw with that Aussie dollar trade, sometimes you set everything up. It looks great and it plays out perfectly, but it doesn't quite fill you on the trade, right? So this is trading. This is why not everybody does this stuff. This is why it's hard. This is why most people, give up on trading at a certain point. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of frustration sometimes. That Aussie dollar trade left me behind. That's a little bit frustrating. And I don't think it makes you less of a trader to admit when something frustrating happens. So my point with that being USD CAD, I do like it on a pullback. I think that in terms of the technicals, it looks very clean. You have a broken level of resistance. In terms of the smart money tracker, we're not getting too much. So that is telling us there's kind of neutral readings there. Retail sentiment, the crowd is very short. Seasonal trends suggest that the month of August, which is this month, of course, is seasonally bullish. Trend is overall to the upside. That's pretty clear. GDP, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates all favor the US dollar. So I do like this setup. That's a currency pair setup that I am watching. And of course, remember, if I do take that trade, if you're like, Nick, I only want to see the ideas that are actually pressing, then you should join the Discord. The Discord will allow you to see trades that I'm taking here and now. And here's a quick reminder. We are doing 25% off. That is a huge discount off of our memberships. If you would like more information about that, if you'd like to see some examples of the trades, if you'd like to see the track record, if you'd like any more information, and you'd like to qualify for the 25% off discount, all you have to do right now is message us using the link that just got trapped in the live chat here. So if you're with us live, and if you're not, you can always click the link in the description. Click this link, direct message us, and you can ask for examples of past trades. You can ask for a track record, all that sort of good thing. So just message us real quick. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, thank our sponsors, guys, and we're going to be joined by Frank and Tom to take a look at some more setups and market analysis right after this. Check it out.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we are back now, joined by Frank and Tom, two regular contributors, of course, to the A1 Trading Show. What's going on, Tom? Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, hi, Nick. All good, thanks. How was your break?
It was great, and I appreciate you for filling in for us, keeping the streams alive while we were away. And then, of course, Frank was actually on vacation with me, which makes it a little difficult when half the staff is gone. But we made it through thanks to some of our contributors like yourself, Tom. So, Tom, what are you looking at here today? I mentioned this dollar CAD trade setup that I'm looking at. Do you have anything pressing? Any ideas that you're looking at today?
So, just dollar pairs in general, really. I'm seeing a bit of, they're either at levels, like you spoke about Aussie dollar, US dollar, for example. They're either at levels of support, and I wouldn't like to potentially take this any further yet because we're hitting support. And it just seems like there's a lot of difficulty to trade the US dollar majors. I'll give you another example with pound US dollar. So I sort of do a top-down approach, guys, as you probably know. And if I looked at this weekly chart, yeah, I would be all over this for a buy trade if I only traded the weekly chart. Because this has come back to a really nice weekly level. We're in an uptrend, and we've got this area of support, and we've even got the moving average 20. So I really like this zone, to potentially take price back up to this gray zone, if not higher. But then, this is the weekly chart. If I look on the daily chart, it completely contradicts this idea. And this is the problem I'm having with the US dollar pairs and the yen pairs, actually. So if I looked at the day chart, guys, I would be very reluctant to buy this. This is potentially a good area of resistance to take price lower. So we're in a situation where we potentially got, weekly buyers, daily sellers. And then, do I want to be in that fight? Because what would, usually happen, you might just see a bit of sideways price action as a result of that. And, I'm seeing this on pound US dollar and also euro US dollar, all some of these dollar majors are at levels I can't trade them. They're just not ready. So, yeah, not finding a lot of setups this week, to be quite honest.
That's fair. And maybe, Tom, with the introduction of CPI, which will be happening, of course, on Thursday, you may get some more decisive moves. May get some more setups coming down the pipeline with that. What about you, Frank? Are you looking at anything ahead of CPI? Of course, as I mentioned, CPI is Thursday, so market's expected to move. But do you have anything that you're looking at ahead of that?
Yeah, so I'm looking at a couple setups right now. One on oil. I was in it yesterday, but I got stopped out, and I'm looking at more potential entries. Today's candle is kind of weak, but what we're going to have to see is a close to the upside. If we can see some buying pressure, it's up against a double top, which I guess now is a triple top after it rejected that high. But I'm looking at oil because of China and their CPI coming out at 9:30 tonight. They're expecting lower CPI, which could be an indication that demand is falling, and overall their economy might not be as robust as we thought it was. But that sounds pretty bearish for oil, although I'm looking at smart money that's been buying it up for the past couple of weeks, and they're only doing it to this commodity. So there could be a chance that maybe they're betting on, maybe expectations will actually get beat, or they'll be, I don't know, or they'll meet. Like either way, China's inflation is expected to go down, which in that case, I will probably not look for a long on gold. But for now, I'm looking at potential buy setups on that, as well as Kiwi yen. I'm in a trade right now, but if structure breaks under this sort of range, I'll probably be stopped out. But then I'll probably look for another entry at the trend line, which is where is that at? Like 85.9 or 86. And they got their CPI coming out today, which is also going to really move the market, I think. Meanwhile, we see smart money buying up Kiwi, selling yen on both the long and short side. So I think what we might be seeing could be falling inflation. I think we've seen that the past 3 reports on Kiwi, but I'm not totally convinced that falling inflation is the best indicator for them, because of their central bank. If prices remain this high for a long period of time, even though they're coming down, they can still miss expectations and not fall to what the RBNZ wants. So I think maybe this could indicate that they want to keep rates higher for longer. Um, Meanwhile, the yen's or Japan's inflation is coming up, and there's not really much they're doing about it. Although, like, inflation is pretty significant in saying, their central bank should step in. They leave like almost no indication that they will. So it's looking at, once again, two different central
Sure.
banks.
Yeah, and again, inflation still reigns to be kind of one of the most important factors, whether it's China, New Zealand, of course, the US coming on Thursday. So lots of data coming in will likely cause some good market moves. Tom, Frank was talking a little bit about some yen pairs. Do you have any thoughts on yen pairs today?
So, not to be like, the bearer of bad news, but again, yen pairs are just, for me, showing contradiction. So let's look at, I don't know, let's look at pound yen. Okay. So, for example, on the weekly chart, we're just, for me, we're seeing a bit of, these bearish weekly candles. So this is pound yen. This is a weekly sell. New Zealand yen. Look at this weekly candle. And we keep seeing this across a lot of the yen pairs. So again, I'm getting this weekly selling pressure, although it is in an uptrend. Clearly in an uptrend. And I really like this level for buys, but I cannot buy into a weekly candle like this. That's the problem I'm having. If we see the day chart, the day chart is in an uptrend and at a potential excellent value area, potentially coming down, shot back up. We were getting higher highs. It's retraced to, these lows, and we've got a nice bullish reaction. Will it want to go a little bit further down to these lows? Maybe. But, that is potentially a good value play to look for buys. But it's just that weekly candle that, is putting me off the yen pairs at the moment. But then Frank mentioned oil. So, if like Frank mentioned, there's this area of resistance where oil is, coming down from. And this ties in with a euro Canadian dollar trade that we're looking at, guys. So, there hasn't been many setups, but euro Canadian dollar, ever since we broke this high here, we've been in an uptrend. And this bullish candle was the catalyst for me to look for buys. And we've got targets, these blue lines are my targets. And this idea ties in nicely with Frank's idea. If oil, comes tumbling down, then the Canadian dollar will become weaker because they are, correlated. And, this would mean that euro Canadian dollar, continue to push up. So this is a trade idea I am looking at, and coincides with what Frank thinks about oil. So,
Sure. Yeah, no, and I think it will be again such a volatile week for commodities. I was making the point just before you guys got on when it comes to metals markets, commodities markets in general. I think there's a little bit of probably clearly the dollar rising here today is putting a lot of pressure on commodities like gold and oil. I haven't looked too close at the news, but I can suspect from some of the tweets that I've seen out there that there is a bit of more hawkish tone coming from the Federal Reserve, that perhaps there is that chance that an additional rate hike will be coming. In our last round of rate hikes, it was very, very clear or very, very much assumed by many analysts, banks around the United States were pretty much forecasting for no more rate hikes. It does seem like that during this fall, which kind of came with that environment, right? You saw this huge sell-off following that previous report. Well, now sentiment is kind of leaning or coming back a little bit, saying, hey, there may actually be a chance that we need to go another rate hike higher. And again, that is why, as we go into this week, I think CPI is going to be so important to see whether or not the nail is in the coffin for this rate hike cycle, or if there genuinely is talks of another hike, perhaps a pause before another hike. That is the question that many investors are watching. And of course, we take a look at here at the US dollar. If you are a dollar bear, I would argue that this is probably kind of your line in the sand. This is a daily chart. You've had a really strong run to the upside, but sellers are probably going to want to hold on tight to this level. If they're unable to hold that, it is very possible that you could see indices continue to fall, commodities continue to get beat down. It's all about that US dollar trade, I would say, here today. And of course, we'll be covering that throughout the week here, especially with CPI and PPI to come Thursday and Friday. I think we'll get some clarity on the dollar. My personal opinion is that if the dollar breaks out here, if CPI comes out hot, if PPI comes out hot, if we see some numbers that surprise the markets, there's a solid chance that we see another rate hike. And if that does occur, the dollar stays strong for a while. And in that case, I probably avoid going short. Many people who have been watching, they know I've been pretty bearish about it. Frank and I have been bearish together on the dollar index. I would say we're at the extremes here. We got to see the decision point to be made going forward. So Tom and Frank, I want to thank you guys both for joining me on the show. Before we do end, I just want to let you guys know, of course, you can find Frank and I here every day. This is our show, the A1 Trading Show. Frank works here at A1 Trading alongside myself and the rest of our team. But Tom is, of course, a special guest that comes on and contributes to the show, who has his own YouTube channel and services that he offers. If you guys would like to find more information or work closer with Tom, you could do so by clicking the link that's being dropped in the chat right now. You can subscribe to his YouTube channel totally free and get more commentary from Tom on his YouTube channel, Simply Forex, on a regular basis. So, Tom, I want to thank you for coming on our show and for adding some great commentary here, especially on the currency pairs and gold and oil side.
Cheers, Nick. Cheers, Frank. Thanks a lot. See ya.
All right. See you, Tom. And Frank, thank you to you as well. Thank you for coming on, as always. I know we've got a busy load of stuff working on the software stuff behind the scenes today, so I'll let you get to it. And thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah, guys. So again, what I was trying to make that point with the dollar here, this is decision time for the dollar, in my personal opinion. This move here has become a bit extended. And do I want to short the dollar? I had to be very careful. If I do it, it's going to be on small size because we've got CPI and PPI, and I would be a fool to say I know exactly what's going to happen on those reports. I certainly do not. Nobody does, right? Nobody, at least on our level, even hedge funds, they probably don't know. So they're probably positioning to see. Who really knows? Probably just people at the Fed or some insider trading stuff that, of course, you and I don't have any access to, and it is illegal as well. So we're not involved in that. We don't know what the news is going to be. We are simply doing the best with what we can see. And right now, what I would say is that dollar bears, this is the last shot. We had a little bit of rejection off of this trend line previously. If this level can't hold, I have to abandon my short bias on the dollar for a little while. Will I be long biased? I don't know. It depends what we get with CPI, PPI. If we get red hot numbers, I may be a short-term dollar bull, but we'll have to keep a closer look. And again, I'm kind of waiting towards that. I do have some trades that I'm looking at. I am actually going to probably take some options trades here today. I am looking to possibly sell some more puts on the Russell 2000. This is a US index. I am generally bullish indices. And so I have that idea going on. Another one is silver, right? Silver really getting crushed here today. I think there may be a good bounce opportunity at some point, especially as we start nearing this 22.5 level. So these are trades that I'm looking at myself. And I'll, of course, give you guys notifications if I take any trades. I'll also be watching some currency pairs. I mentioned dollar CAD. I really like this setup, and pullbacks I'll probably be looking to take advantage. If I take any trades and you would like to get those notifications from Frank and myself directly, if you want it to be in your pocket as you're walking down the street, get a text notification from Frank and I whenever we take trades with full explanations and breakdowns. If that would be helpful to you and you would like access to that, we're going to drop a link right now because currently we are doing a 25% off membership sale right now for a very short period of time. If you'd like to join the Discord, if you've been thinking about joining us, if you want to trade closer to us, get in on the action. This is a great week to be a part of this. We got CPI coming out on Thursday, PPI on Friday. It's a busy week. We'll be very, very active. If you'd like to come join us and trade alongside our team, click this link that's being dropped in the chat right now. This is what it looks like. And it will take you to a support center. I'll show you what that looks like just so you can see it. So when you click that link, it's going to take you to a live chat support center, and you're going to be talking not to a robot, but to a real person. Just click chat now, click the 25% off. And when you put in your name, you'll be connected directly to a real person on my staff who can set you up with a membership before the sale ends. So again, we're watching for pullbacks here this week, and any trades that I take will be alerted to Discord VIP members. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning into today's live stream. I hope you got a lot out of it. I certainly enjoyed spending some time with you, and we will see you guys back on the next stream. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the show. But before you go, we are officially dropping a 100% free trading course for people who are looking to get better in their trading and learn about things like technical analysis and fundamental analysis and risk on and risk off and sentiment analysis and risk management. We have so many different topics, and we have compiled a library for you guys 100% for free. So let's go through some of the stuff here. We have technical analysis handbook. We have the risk on, risk off guide, a trading template or plan template if you need help building a trading plan, technical analysis playbooks. So definitely check this out. Again, link down below in the description. We have so much free value on our site here. I highly encourage you guys to take advantage of this free resources, and I hope that they genuinely are very helpful. You have economic figures, you have lessons on this, monetary policy. This is a big one. Retail sentiment versus smart money, seasonal trends, geopolitical events. For currency traders out there, we have some lessons here on volatility, which pairs to trade for newer traders, the highest to lowest risk things, moving averages. We also have technical guides, the fundamental analysis side of this stuff. Again, you can get access to this with the link in the description. You can see we have guides on support and resistance, trend lines, moving averages, candlesticks, MACD indicator, relative strength index, candlestick patterns. I mean, this is stuff that I wish I had at my disposal when I was getting into trading, and now you guys do. So again, take advantage. And I just want to say yet again, thank you guys so much for being such an incredible audience. Enjoy these resources.